Jolly good.
And I'm looking at my CPU and it's running at a cool 6%. So I'm quite happy with that. So, John, with that in mind, do your thing.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to this episode 108.
108?
Fuck's sake.
What?
Oh, are you in the room?
I'm in the room. Yeah,
You're tripping over the top of me.
you're on big screen, mate.
Yeah, good evening, one and all. Welcome to this episode 108
108.
of Chasing Dissent Live with your hosts, John and Ben, in our respective horrible countries.
John.
Yes, Ben.
I must say, your studio is starting to look rather nice.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that.
You've got some lovely new lighting there, haven't you, John?
It's a bit of a glow, isn't it?
Bit of a glow. It almost glows your flat Earth map that you say is not a flat Earth map, but is definitely a flat Earth map.
It's a longitude and time calculator.
Of course it is, John. Of course it is. I believe you. Thousands wouldn't. Good evening, anybody watching on Facebook, anybody watching on YouTube, anybody watching on Twitch, Rumble, or brand new YouTube. Somehow we are live on all platforms, and I have managed to get this working. It's a fucking minor miracle, John. It's a minor miracle.
It is a minor miracle.
It is. How are you anyway?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a bit warm. It's very warm still.
You've been watching the old Formula One, haven't you?
Yeah, I watched it earlier. Indeed, I did.
You had the Formula One on whilst we were doing our little test stream earlier on.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. So yeah, the nightmare is officially over when it comes to getting the new laptops and computers and setups and all of that. What?
We'll see.
John.
Are you still on 10? You didn't move to 11, did you? Oh no, it came with 11, didn't it? Fucking shit. Piece of shit.
I know. Right. But it's not like I had a choice, man. It came with it pre-installed.
Wiped it and put 10 on it.
Do you really think after all the problems I've had with computers over the last 10 to 12 days, I was going to start fucking wiping anything, John?
Why not? I would have gone afresh.
You know what you're doing.
Yes, well, I suppose I do.
Exactly. And before we get into the rest of the show, if you want to join us tonight for the after party, you can do so by joining us at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent. That's patreon.com/Chasing Dissent. And specifically at the end of this show tonight, there will be a link sent straight to you.
Or some people are so desperate to get in.
Oh, yeah.
Tapping at the door before we'd even gone live.
Well, this is it. If you're a subscriber, you get it in an email. And our one and only subscriber for the Subscribe Star already got it before the show and just click, came and joined us, didn't he?
I'm coming.
But if you are a patron, there will be a patron-only post will go live during the end credits on our page at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent. The link will be there. Click it, come through to Ring Central. You can do it on your desktop or get the app and come and have a chat with us for 20 minutes, half hour. And it won't be broadcast, so we can be a little less uncouth or a little more uncouth.
You can be as erudite as you like.
John, do we have a list?
We have a list.
Should I play the list video?
Play the list video.
I don't know which one it is.
It doesn't matter. Just pair me any one of 3. So there appears to be a slight issue, a technical hitch, as they say. So, despite the nightmare being over, allegedly, Ben's nice pockets. Here he goes, yep.
Shipping.
15 container of beer. 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 15 container of
Zelensky's a cunt. Did you see, did you see what he said about the Americans?
You know, they actually heard you say that.
You just told me my mic was muted. Make your mind up.
No, remember, you've got a bit of a delay on the list. So you got to the, that's our list. Let's get into it. I transitioned the scene back, and all they heard was Zelensky's a cunt.
Well, he is. I'm not retracting it.
I mean, that is your opinion, John.
Indeed, it is.
And your opinion,
by it.
Your opinion is your personal opinion and is not representative of Liberté Media Inc. or anything any of its subsidiaries.
But it's as valid as validity gets you.
Indeed, indeed. John, what's the first list item then?
First item on the list is tomorrow. France drops all restrictions.
They do, yes. So no testy westies, no nothing, no jabby stabbies.
You still need your passport.
Oh yeah, well you still need your passport. Well, it depends. You don't need your passport to come from France to England, do you?
But you need your passport because they're checking everything. I think they're even checking your shoe size these days.
Yeah, they do. They do like to take their fucking time. So I drove through there in April, didn't I? Yeah. Well, no, I didn't drive through in April. I drove through in October. I went through in April on the Eurostar. But when I drove through in October, my God, did they take their time. Despite the fact, obviously, you needed to be double dosed. And I was telling
and
some...
When I drove over in February...
Yeah.
They just waved me through. They couldn't be bothered.
Oh yeah, they're quite happy to wave us through on the way back, John. It's on the way out, right? They are taking your passport, they're looking at it, they're going, "Are you sure this is you, sir?" And then they're slowly stamping it, and then they're handing it back. Ever so gently.
Yeah, on the way to France, which was pre-Brexit, they weren't bothered. They didn't even speak to us. They just waved us through.
Do you know the amount of times pre-Brexit I drove, when I was driving to France through Eurotunnel, you would drive up to the French customs window and it's just closed. It's just nobody there. You just drive straight through it. You go, okay. But now it's very much manned, and they are very much taking their sweet ass time with stamping. "Hello, sir. Are you sure this is you?" Yes.
It's always good to have a dog when you go through these things.
I'm definitely not taking my dog to France.
It's good though, because they don't like coming in when there's a dog.
True.
That's true.
Second on the list, Rishi Sunak promises a £10 fine for those that don't show up for their NHS appointments.
Well, Rishi Sunak.
What do you think of that, Ben, though? Do you think it's a sensible choice?
Okay, so what...
Do we get to fine the NHS £10 if we get our appointment cancelled?
Well, this is what I was about to ask, because obviously you know what happened with my dentist. I don't even fucking have one because of what they kept doing, right? I'm literally doing DIY dentistry with Loctite at the moment, John.
Yeah. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. They can sponsor me if they damn well play. It's expensive stuff, John.
I prefer you to use the term super glue.
Well, no, because I'm purposely using that brand.
Yeah, but I'd rather use the generic.
Okay, I will use a generic term. And before we talk more about this £10 fine, John, what is the wine of the week?
Oh, the wine of the week is rather tasty. Chardonnay Viognier from France, of course, called the the Three Gables.
Okay, and how much was the Three Gables, John?
It worked out about £8 or something because I bought it in this country.
Okay, fair enough. Well, now here's what I think, and I think that Rishi Sunak is an idiot. I think.
Hold back now.
I think there are a multitude of reasons that people could be missing NHS appointments. What if? Let me give you an off the wall example here. what if they get into an accident and when missing the NHS appointment, they're actually in an NHS ambulance because their leg is broken? Are they going to get fined £10, or are they going to say, "Well, you're still using the NHS; it's all right"?
I once went to an accident where the ambulance that was coming to the accident I was at had an accident.
Yeah.
And then we had to get another ambulance for that accident and another ambulance for the accident that originally occurred.
Can I ask the chat how my audio sounds? Does it sound normal? Does it sound all right? I'm just trying to work that out before we move on.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay. Well, it sounds fine to you. Everyone's saying it's okay, so we shall simply move on. I can't fathom either of these idiots becoming prime minister. I mean, you've got Liz.
I put my hat in the ring early doors. I said, no matter what happens, right? And I thought it would be Penny against Sunak, and I said she would win, right? But I also qualified it and said, no matter, Sunak is going through, but the person against him will win.
I don't know. At this point, I just don't know, because.
Well, at this moment, I'm putting my money on Truss, and I still think. I originally said the person against Sunak would win, and I'm sticking with my original prediction.
Then, if Liz Truss wins, I would say we're all screwed, because she would arm Taiwan and start World War III. But Nancy.
Whoa, no, you're jumping ahead to the list.
I was going to say, there is someone else trying to beat her to it, but we'll talk about that a bit later.
I don't think it'll matter.
Yeah.
Borrowed time now, so that's why I opened the wine. I thought I might as well get some of this drunk.
I mean, I'll drink to that. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, old bean. Cheers. Not sponsored by Coca-Cola, though they fucking well should sponsor me at this point. Not sponsored
by French wine. Hey, moving on. So, as a result of Ukraine's HIMARS attack on the prison, and why were they shelling a prison anyway with their own people in it? They killed 50 prisoners and injured 70 more.
Yes, of their own people.
Russia has asked for the UN and Red Cross to investigate it.
It kind of seems like a bit of a war crime.
Oh, no, surely not.
I mean, it seems like a bit of a war crime, doesn't it, John?
No, that was Ukraine. It was just an accident. Nothing to see here. Move along.
I mean, they've wound up killing dozens of their own citizens, and probably no Russians.
Yeah, probably.
No, they probably did kill a few Russians as well. But the point is, this was a very ill thought out operation. And I will say that
they're using Western supplied arms.
Yes, American missiles, wasn't it?
Yeah,
American missiles. I'm trying to review the chat down on YouTube.
Highly inaccurate multiple rocket system.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep. It's more fucking wag the dog, isn't it?
It's pure wag the dog. I mean, this is wag the dog. It's like you watched the movie and thought, let's do that. Let's just do that.
I mean, surely
especially the video game footage is like, I mean, it's not inspired because it's ridiculous video game footage, and it's like the TIE fighter in the German Autobahn. You know, I mean, people believed it.
Yeah, and they did.
Then actually, the ones that didn't believe it were pointing out that it was German radio, and that's why they didn't believe it. Not that it was a fucking TIE fighter. With stormtroopers guarding it on the motorway. No, it was because there was German radio on, and it wasn't snowing in Kiev at the time. How do you even start to address that?
I've completely lost my train of what I was going to say. I do.
But that actually is a defining moment, and the pity is that tweet's gone because it was on my old account that's been permanently suspended. Over 1 million retweets.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So I'm gonna put my hat in the ring and say that Ukraine right now, right, must be one of the safest places on earth to go on holiday.
Well, judging by the amount of celebrities that have been there, yeah.
Celebrities turn up, world leaders turn up.
Many times has the Peffel been there?
So many. I mean, Ben Stiller was there the other week. Angelina Jolie was there. Sean Penn turned up, and Sean Penn was the only one that wore a fucking flak jacket.
But he was already there making a documentary before it even started.
And his documentary
as it started.
And then he was like, I'm going to single-handedly take down Putin. Oh, shit, better run off to the United States.
Has Tom Cruise been there yet?
He's too short.
Well, he would look all right. Oh, no, maybe he has. He would look all right next to Zelensky.
I think Zelensky's probably taller than him. Oh. Tom Cruise is a little man.
Yes. But he has a big ego.
Yeah, and the team of Scientologist slaves who did everything for him. I mean, what?
While we're talking about our favourite cokehead, what? What
disclaimer. Disclaimer.
Well, okay, might not be our favourite cokehead.
For fuck's sake.
But what did he say about the Americans?
I don't know what he said. I've been out the loop. I'm trying to sort this shit out.
He said they were arrogant and just looking after themselves and were more concerned about their own situation than his country, and they really shouldn't be fucking worrying about their own situation. They should be helping out his country. So, when did he become an entitled little cokehead?
When he got on the cover of Vogue.
Yeah. The guy is, as I said earlier, and I don't use this term often. Oh, I don't.
He's doing it. He's looking for one.
The guy is a.
That was very well timed, John. I like that.
Thank you.
I really did. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, we need a
really, really good indeed.
We need a producer. Because
we do. We need a live producer.
We're all doing too much now.
Well, this is it. I'm now I'm expanding to 4 screens whilst running this show.
And to be honest, that's not the way to do it because you're the on-screen talent, so you should be on screen. We need that. But anyway, right, moving on. Shall we? Shall we move on?
I suppose so.
Okay. Octopus Energy has asked us, the UK taxpayer, for £1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah, they want to buy out some other. They want to pick up the pieces from some. What do you call it? What's that stuff called that's supposed to be free? An eco energy company that went to the wall.
Okay.
So they want to pick up the pieces from that, and as part of that, they want the government to give them £1 billion, which is our money, not
our
the
money.
government. Because remember, governments don't have money.
No.
You know, all they do is spend our money. So they're asking us for £1 billion, but they don't ask us. They ask these chumps that sit in that house called Parliament for our money, and they will probably give it to them. Yeah,
I think they probably will. And as we know, okay, this eco energy shite is just that, right? It is shite. It's not sustainable. It's not economically viable. It doesn't work a lot of the time.
It doesn't.
Just build nuclear power stations, or fall back on coal. Those are your options.
Yep, those are your options.
And before you bankrupt the fucking country trying anything else, or even bankrupt the world, stop pretending that windmills work. They don't.
Well, they kept Holland afloat.
Have they?
Well, it hasn't sunk yet.
Yeah, that's true. It hasn't sunk, but I'm pretty sure they rely on gas and electric from elsewhere.
Oh, nice segue.
Okay.
So the Germans are preparing for winter because winter is coming.
Winter is coming, yeah?
And they're going to they reckon they're going to manage a 15% drop in gas usage.
Ooh, how?
They have told, prepare for cold showers.
Here is how the general public will deal with this. What will happen is this: 15% of the population will freeze to death.
Yeah.
And then we have saved 15% gas, yeah?
Yeah, prepare for cold showers. So I think they're handing out Wim Hof books at the moment saying read this. Because it's going to get fucking cold and you're going to have cold showers in the winter.
It's going to get so fucking cold. And you know what? As your government, we don't care. Because all of your money comes to us, your tax money comes to us, and instead of doing what we should with it, we're going to spend it on ourselves and make sure we are warm. Isn't that right, John?
Looking a bit yellow, wasn't it?
I don't know.
The background, it was making me look more yellow, but I've changed the ring lights tone to more of
You've turned the tone down.
Well, it was a warm colour before.
Okay.
I am roasting. Sorry,
it is pretty warm. It is pretty warm.
So, moving on, shall we?
Moving briefly on.
The Phantom Pegger of Old London Town. Now,
it was a dark and stormy night in Old London Town.
Could have got some sound effects for this, but yeah. So this is completely unsubstantiated, but it's too good to pass up.
It's a salacious rumor that's been going around, especially did the round on the Twitter sphere, didn't it? Because you know what, our Twitter accounts, we can still read Twitter, can't we, John? We can still log in. We can still read Twitter. We just can't tweet.
Yeah, you just can't tweet. Yeah, you can read. But yeah, so our friend William, Regent, has apparently a penchant for getting his prostate tickled.
Yeah, so it's Catherine. I have decided that I would like to go and get pegged tonight.
Well, I'm not doing that. William.
You're not doing that, William.
Draw the line. I draw the line.
Draw the line there. But if you'd like to go find yourself a lovely pegger, you go ahead and do that. It's essentially what the rumor is, right?
Go and find yourself some wench that will do that for you. I'm just not partaking of that.
So apparently,
that's my children with his mouth.
So according to this anonymous report, the only rule is no emotions involved. Because last time you stepped out of line, sir, you got a bit too emotionally involved, apparently.
You fell in love, you Prince William Baldy bastard.
Now, you just, right. First of all, it's quite salacious, right? It's quite the rumor.
You know what? I don't care. See if it's not true, sue me.
Well, we didn't say it was true.
Yeah, if it's not true, sue me.
Yeah, but why would they sue you? Because all we're doing is reporting on the rumor and then making a joke.
That's true, but see if it's not true, sue me. Come ahead.
Don't sue me.
Yeah, I don't care. Sue me.
Sue him.
Yeah, sue me.
Yeah. But
you can have what I have, and then you will know what it means
A struggle.
to be happy and have nothing.
Yeah. You will eat bugs and you will be happy. Have you seen that so many celebrities are now starting to put out videos like, oh yeah, let's eat some bugs?
No, I have not seen that, but they're fucking idiots. That's what they are. They're just getting paid shills. I mean,
Oh, well, absolutely.
the definition of celebrity is surely paid shill anyway. But yeah.
Well, maybe, because there are some people who you would call a celebrity that are clearly not that. But it depends what you define as a celebrity. Is it someone that's well known, just simply, or is it? I don't know. Let's not go down that road.
There aren't many that actually have their own opinion. I think Michael Marsden's one. Michael Marsden? Is it Michael Marsden? John Bowles.
Yeah, that Marsden guy, Matthew Marsden.
Matthew Marsden. John Bowles, maybe.
Richard and Fred Fairbrass.
Yes, the Freds. The Freds are good. Yep. Sonia Poulton.
Yeah. These are good people, by the way.
Dark Spy, not JHB. She is a paid shill.
Oh, by the way, Dark Spy, if you want a link to the after party, I'll send it to you afterwards, obviously, because you're not on. You don't do Patreon, you do other ways, so I'll send it to you on Twitter. Good evening, Lisa. Good evening. I see you there in the chat. Oh, John, just before we move on, this is something. You know that banner you had made?
What one?
The one you had made for the other thing. The stand-up banner.
Oh yeah, that banner, yeah.
I saw it in the ether last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It's doing the rounds.
Cool.
But without its owner.
Why? Who's pimping it out?
Your banner, man. Free websites, free banner designs, free everything.
What the hell? You live and learn.
Well, you do live and learn when you do absolutely everything. Speaking
about the old phantom pegger of old London town.
Yes.
What do you think of the whole thing? Do you think it's got any... Well, first of all, there's always a bit of... There isn't any smoke without fire, is there?
I'll just give you one word, right, when it comes to the Royals. Right. One word.
Abolish?
Andrew.
Andrew. Yeah. You won it. You won the argument, mate. Yep. Let's move on. And we bring to you Pelosi, bringer of war.
I'm going to Asia.
This woman is what, 83, is she, or older?
But she's like another Biden, isn't she? She's got to the point where you don't understand a fucking thing she says.
You have no idea what she's saying. But the thing is, she is so old that she's on borrowed time. I mean,
we're all on bloody borrowed time.
But her borrowed time is ticking down quickly. So the question is, she's been told not to go. She's been told not to go by her president. She's been told not to go by Winnie the Pooh. She's been told not to go by the military of the country in which she lives in. And she's been advised not to go by most of the rest of Congress. And yet she goes.
Has she gone there?
I don't know if she's gone yet, but she's on an Asian tour. And
she's on an Asian tour.
The Chinese have already started ramping up their military.
Right? They have. They've been moving all of their tanks as close to Taiwan as possible.
And they're doing big helicopter stuff, and they've got all their planes up, and they're talking about shooting the bloody plane down. What, does she really, really want to be the cause of World War III? And well, I think yes, I think she does. I think she wants to go out, dare I say it, with a bang.
It wouldn't shock me.
For a while.
It wouldn't shock me, right? When she was asked Friday afternoon, because she left Friday evening,
Yeah.
And when she was asked, "Are you going to visit Taiwan?" she wouldn't give an answer. Which that in itself, right? That in itself is going to piss off old Winnie. That's going to piss Winnie right off. Just say no, right? Say no, and then go on your merry way, Nancy. You're 83 years old, right? You shouldn't even. I'm sorry, but somebody of 83 years old, somebody with the mental faculties that Nancy Pelosi clearly has, it's got to the point, like I said, where you can't understand a fucking word she's saying, right? She shouldn't be allowed to hold the position she holds.
No, she shouldn't. And she shouldn't be allowed to be doing what she's doing. She should be playing bingo.
She should be playing bingo in the Star Wars hotel for $6,000.
Or Lego.
Oh, should we talk about the Legoland Hotel? Because that's kind of breaking news, isn't it?
I don't know much about it. I believe it's on fire.
Yeah, well, it was on fire, the Legoland Hotel at Legoland Windsor. I don't know if the fire is extinguished, but it was on fire.
See the pictures you sent me? Both the vehicles in it were foreign.
Well, it's definitely Windsor.
No, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, so it's nice and ablaze. So that's all I can say. I've got a picture here. Yeah, that's definitely the Legoland Hotel in Windsor.
Has it been under control?
Multiple floors on fire.
Oh, sounds good.
So we shall see. Maybe there'll be some kind of update. We might even do an individual video about it tomorrow. We'll see what the damage and devastation, if there is any. Maybe they got it under control quick. But Legoland Windsor is owned by Merlin Entertainments, and they also own Chessington, right? And today at Chessington, they had a fire.
Insurance?
Chessington was at the entrance to their Scorpion Express roller coaster. And that's where they've had a fire.
How did that?
I don't know. I haven't seen much in the way of report on it yet. But yeah, Legoland Hotel is unfortunately ablaze. Like I say, multiple floors. Don't know if they've put it out yet. It was a few hours ago. Everybody, from what I understand, was evacuated, including the patrons in the pool.
Oh.
So,
well, they'd be all right in the pool, surely.
It's an indoor pool, but
oh, okay.
Everybody come running. Everybody out! The building's on fire. It's on fire. I wonder what the cladding's like on that place. Hopefully, it's all right.
Okay, Doc.
Okie doke. Right. Should we move on to your next list item, John?
Well, let's move on to the next fire. Remember those fires in France?
Yes.
Yeah, remember those fires in France? Do you know who started them?
It was a volunteer firefighter, John.
Yeah, it was.
I tell you what, it wasn't. It wasn't climate change.
No. Well, no one blamed climate change for that one, did they? Or did
well, the forest fires. They're always blaming climate change for the forest fires.
Yeah, so it was a volunteer firefighter.
It was?
Yet again.
Yeah.
Do you remember a few years back, California wildfires? Who started that?
It was a volunteer firefighter.
Yeah.
I think one of two things. Either they're really, really sick of being a volunteer, or they want to prove their worth. So they start a fire so that they go, look at me, I can put it out.
It's a kind of hero syndrome.
Yeah.
I think they can appear to be a hero because they're out fighting it.
Yeah. Well, they're fucking idiots. I will say this about tonight's show. I am swearing more, and I should probably try and curb it.
It doesn't. The YouTube algorithm doesn't like it.
Doesn't like the swearing, but there's not really much all that fun going on, is there? It's all just. I mean, look, we go back to Pelosi for a minute. She's going to get us all killed.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit depressing, and I hate to do it, but I'm going to hit you with another depressing one.
Oh Jesus!
So, two sisters were found in an Australian flat. Okay?
Right.
And they'd been dead for months. They'd been decomposed for months.
Right.
23 and 24 years old.
Okay.
Both these girls, I think, had originally come from Saudi Arabia, but you know, they were pretty girls, 23 and 24, and they were both found basically hugging each other in a corner like little sparrows was the description. Okay. And it appears that they were so frightened of an unknown thing that they just basically huddled together in the corner of their flat and died. That's shocking. This is what we have come to. It's just not on.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah, I know. It is shocking. It's shocking, and this is not what we should be. It's not what we aspire to. It's not what we aspire our governments to be doing. This is out of order. It's time for this change. It's time for us to take the reins and be ourselves and make sure that this kind of thing stops happening.
Yeah, but the thing is, John.
Yeah,
thing is, we've tried. We've tried for 2.5 fucking years. And I'm sorry about swearing again, but
well, it doesn't matter, Ben. It doesn't matter, because all we can do is keep going. We keep plugging away. We keep going, because the worst thing you can say is, "What difference does my voice make?" I'm only.
Oh no,
one.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but I know you're not saying that, but we are 1 of 7 billion. So, we just keep plugging away, and we just keep telling people, and you people out there, you keep doing it as well, and you keep plugging away, because this is not what we should become.
No, it's not. We shouldn't be scaring our populations to literal death. We shouldn't be doing that. And we shouldn't be allowing people to be in charge who would do that. We shouldn't.
Exactly.
We should, and the fact that not more people aren't angry it's so frustrating to me. It's so frustrating, and I don't really express that anger anymore. Oh, well, at least I try not to. But my God, am I angry, John?
Yeah,
I'm so angry.
When I read it, Ben, I was disgusted at the government that had allowed that to happen. I was disgusted at the people that had allowed that to happen. And I was so...
Where was the family checking up on them? Where were friends? Oh, wait, they weren't allowed to see them.
Exactly. I mean, it was just... The only reason they found them was because their rent payments hadn't been made.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, I mean, the whole thing's just out of order. It just shouldn't be allowed to happen.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and I'm just so disgusted with, like I say, our populations who would allow this sort of thing to happen to their fellow man or woman, who at this juncture, at this point, knowing what we know now and not saying anything, but knowing what we know to be true, how anybody could stand or stomach anyone being in charge who not only endorsed that behavior against their own citizens, but actively encouraged it. I don't.
And some people are still encouraging it, but
well, some people who were encouraging it, who are part of the nudge units, shall we say, are getting now big jobs with the World Health Organization, John.
I know, and that beggars belief. I mean, I was speaking to my wife this afternoon. This afternoon we were having a coffee, and I said to her, when did it actually happen that we realized that we're living in a science fiction movie?
Well, we are.
Because that's what we are. I mean, this is ridiculous. Anyway, shall I move on?
Yes, I suppose we should indeed move on. But before you do, later tonight, at the end of the show, if you are a patron, and I've already said this, but I will continue to plug it, then go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent to get your link to tonight's after show, where you can come into the show. It won't be broadcast, and we can chill and chat and have... It's a Patreon perk. So if you're not signed up, then please head to patreon.com/Chasing Dissent and become a patron, and then you will see that after show post. It goes live during the end credits or just after the end credits. There'll be a link. Click it. You can come into the show. We do this every Wednesday, every Sunday. So yeah, John, let's move on.
Right, moving on. Russia. Russia. Russia's to blame. Russia's to blame for bringing down the Italian government. It's nothing to do with what the Italian government did over the last 2 years. It's Russian activists that have brought the Italian government down. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to put that on the table and leave it at that. If you want to dissect it, feel free. But it's Russia's fault. Everything is Russia's fault.
And it's always going to be, because they are the boogeyman.
They are the big bad.
It's the big bad. It's John pushed the button. It's his fault. It's his fault. Push the button, John. John, push the button. Push the button, John.
I'm pushing the button. Oh my God, there's too many screens down. It's like Putin!
That's whose fault it is, John.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
You know what, John? John.
Yeah, Ben.
I fell over yesterday, right? I fell over and it hurt and scraped my knee up, right?
Yep.
And when I hit the floor, the first thing I did was scream, Putin!
Putin!
Putin! Shut me up, you Russian
Putin faults. You caused this, Putin.
You caused it! It's all your fault.
Well, actually, the other person that gets blamed a lot is Donald Trump, isn't it?
Donald Trump didn't trip me up.
I'd like to talk a bit about Truth Social.
Yeah.
Maybe Gettr and Gab and Parler and all that. Because they're just not working. They're not working for me.
See, I get where you're coming from, right? And I really do. Because they are just not as rich in conversation. They're not as broad in thought process. They're not as fun, are they?
No, they're not fun. And you know why they're not fun? Because
everyone pretty much agrees with each other.
Everybody agrees with you, yeah, and that's no use to me.
I'm not saying I don't want to be on the platforms, because we do.
I'm an argumentative bastard. I need people to not agree with me.
I know you are. You're Scottish.
I can't take this. It's like everybody's too fucking nice. It's like, oh, it's lovely, but you know what? I need to be challenged.
Well, this is it, and this is why having a mainstream free speech platform is so important, right? Because it's so important to have those clashes, to have those arguments, to hash things out, and then come to some kind of fucking middle ground. Because if you don't have that, you're not moving forwards. Nothing can move forwards. All we're doing is we're locking ourselves in echo chambers. And yes, we're on Gab, we're on True Social, we're on Gettr, not on Parler, I don't think. But we're on these platforms, and I do like being on these platforms, and I do like being able to converse with the people that I used to converse with on Twitter, who have also been banned. But that's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem. They keep banning, and YouTube do it, and
if Twitter keeps doing what it's doing, that's going to end up no use either, because at the moment it's still got a dissenting voice. You know, there's still
it would just become a far left echo chamber, John.
But if it becomes a far left echo chamber, there's no point in it. You know,
no, and it's so frustrating to me, because the people that go around trying to get others banned, right? They're literally afraid of a differing opinion. They're afraid of they're cowards, right?
Yeah, but what is it with the lefties? So why are they so? Why can't they have an argument without being dicks?
I disagree. I think we've got to start using terms correctly, because most of these people aren't lefties. Most of these people are fucking communists, right? That's what they are.
But why can't communists have an argument without being dicks?
Because communists have to be dicks in order to implement their ideology. Because let's face it, the only way to get their ideology down people's throats is to force it upon them. Because not many people want to be equally poor.
End of a gun stuff.
Yeah, How do you think you enforce such a thing? You can't just turn around and go, you're all doing communism now. You have to enforce it, and you have to enforce it with a tyrannical foot.
You will have nothing and you will be happy.
You will eat the bugs.
Does that sound a bit like Michael Caine?
You will have nothing and you will be happy.
You'll have nothing and you'll be happy.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I didn't know Michael Caine was on their side.
I don't think Michael Caine's on any side.
Was Michael Caine not dead, mate?
I don't know. I don't know. He
thought
might
Michael
be.
Caine was dead. I thought he was dead.
My name is Michael Caine. All
Yeah.
right, John.
I thought you were dead, mate.
You was only supposed to blow the bloody doors off, John.
Oh, right. Where are we? Let's go a little bit positive. So, do you remember Shakira? You know, shake those hips and all that.
The one that used to talk about her tits in the song. It's like,
Aye, yeah. One that did and she did the football song for South Africa and all that. Remember?
she also did the song for that Zootopia film, that Disney Zootopia film. Yeah.
You might be going to jail for tax evasion. She's been a girl.
So her hips might not lie, but her tax forms clearly do.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh dear. Amber Heard. While we're on the celebrity train, Amber Heard filing for bankruptcy, John.
Oh, colour me shocked.
So
Elon's dried up.
yes. So well, you say Elon. So it transpires that it was not Elon that was funding her legal fees.
Oh, who was it?
It was two insurance companies, right? Two insurance companies were funding her legal fees. So this was now that she was obviously found guilty of defaming Johnny with actual malice, yeah. Those two insurance companies have decided we don't want to cover these legal fees, and they've sued her, right? Because it's actual malice. They've sued her. And so what's gone on is she's filed for bankruptcy to try and avoid these lawsuits. But even if she gets bankruptcy, she's not out. She doesn't get out of paying Johnny because a court judgment found with actual malice is exempt from bankruptcy.
Oh, Amber. Only answer.
I don't even think at this point OnlyFans would work for her.
Oh, God.
I don't. She's just digging a grave deeper and deeper and deeper, isn't she? And I bet she's so deluded that she actually believes she'll get a Hollywood career again.
Yeah, she probably does. She's a psycho.
But then again, knowing Hollywood, she's a woman, so you know.
Well, she might get a Hollywood career because they're screwballs as well. Right, let's move on to Joe. Let's move on to Uncle Joe. We've got a couple of items for Uncle Joe.
Yes. So Uncle Joe is actually the title, isn't he?
Yeah. So he tested positive on the 21st of July.
Yes, he did.
And he isolated and
Didn't he have like a real slight cold?
Yeah, and he secured treatment. And then he tested negative. And then he tested positive again on the 30th.
But this time he's got no symptoms at all, and yet he's still gone into isolation.
Still isolating, but he's not seeking treatment this time.
I looked at his statement. He put a statement on Twitter, and it was obviously probably written by a PR guy, but
yeah.
It said that I'm doing the safe thing and isolating to keep others around me safe, right? And I have to be very careful about what I say here, but mate, you've got no illness.
Yeah, I know. He's asymptomatic.
And you've had 4 of the things.
4?
You've had 4 of the things.
Yeah. So,
How is that keeping anybody safe? I'm just asking.
safe and effective.
Clearly,
Safe and effective.
safe and effective. These people, John, these people, I know he's old. I know he's senile. I know he's got Alzheimer's. But he's just plain fucking nuts. He's nuts.
Speaking of nuts,
Yeah.
did you know he's started rebuilding the wall in Arizona on the border?
Quietly as well, haven't they? Just
Yeah. Well, they got pulled up today in the press conference. One of the reporters said, "Why are you rebuilding the wall in Arizona?" And do you know the little black girl that's his press secretary? Oh my God, she's not good. She's not good. But she started going, well, we're not actually rebuilding the wall. We're just clearing up the mess that was left. They're building the wall.
they're building the wall, aren't they, John? They're building the wall.
Yeah, they're building the wall.
But do you know that I believe it was the Democrats who
was right?
Yeah, but I believe it was the Democrats who actually first called for a wall.
Oh, probably. But when Donald picked it up, then they would say, no.
Don't want that. I mean, they could have literally gone, okay, we're gonna put together a universal healthcare plan for all, and then Donald could have come in and picked up their universal healthcare package, and they've gone, we don't want that. Make everybody go private. Make everybody go private, because they literally take the position of anti-Donald Trump, no matter what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the exact opposite.
He could say the sky is up, and they'd be like, nah.
Remember Trump said there'll be a vaccine out soon, get the vaccine, and they're like, I'm not taking a Trump vaccine.
They all said it. Kamala Harris said it. Joe Biden said it. They all said it.
And now they've had 4 of them in them.
And they're mandating them.
Yeah, and it's the same vaccine. It's not a different one.
No, it's the same. But the second that they take over, they're like, oh, this is a good idea, this.
Yeah, let's use that. Let's purport it. Let's steal his life's work and purport it as our own.
And then if it's seen as a success, they just take full credit for it, right?
Not a success. Oh, well, that was Donald Trump that did that.
It was Trump who did that. Like, they keep trying to blame Trump somehow for the terrible economy right now.
Yeah.
It was Donald Trump and it was Putin. It wasn't the fact that Joe Biden's a senile man who doesn't know what he's doing.
I need to go back. Keep going. Putin! I need to move that. That needs to be moved.
You do. It does. But
That's true.
It's true. That's true.
Right. Anyway.
Poor. Right. I would say poor Donald Trump, but he's doing what he's doing, and he's going to run again. He is going to run again.
Yeah, he's going to run. Yeah.
He wants his second term.
I think DeSantis as a running mate, and they're unstoppable.
I think, but if DeSantis runs against him, I think that could really be bad.
If he runs against them, they're screwed. He wants DeSantis as his running mate.
I would say so. And then DeSantis for 2028.
Absolutely. Right. So, what I'm going to say is weather data.
Mm-hmm.
Weather data has shown there's been no global increase in temperature over the last 17 years.
Big shock.
I had a dream.
You mean, hold on. You mean that the doommonger modelers have got it wrong again?
Well, there's been no global increase in temperature over the last 17 years.
Remember these?
According
how many times have they predicted it?
What?
The Maldives should have been underwater 4 times by now, John.
Yeah, and Florida and New York, but that doesn't matter. The data says this, and it's probably wrong. Anyway, I had a dream the other night, and Greta Thunberg was in it.
He told me about this.
Yeah, so and if
Not
there's
that kind of dream, you sick fucks.
you know, you sick people, but she is old enough because she's 19, remember? But
Jesus Christ.
but anyway, now if anyone out there can work out what this means, I'd love to know. Right, so I'm sitting at a table in a cafe type thing, interviewing someone, and they get up and leave, and Greta's sitting behind. You know, it's like couch to couch type thing. And so I leans over and I goes, right, Greta, do you want an interview? Come on then. And she goes, all right then. He comes round. And she sits down at the table with me and Sean. Okay. And she takes her fingers and puts them into the jam that's in the middle of the table. Right. And then brings her jammy fingers up and shoves them into Sean's mouth, who then sucks her fingers clean.
Jesus Christ.
What's all that about?
You did not get all of the jam off? How dare you?
What's all that about? I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Adam says Gettr is more likely to be screaming nasties at him.
Oh, no, she was quite pleasant, actually. Sore arm, steady on, lad. steady on, sore arm.
You can't see that in the YouTube chat, but
yeah,
I'm not reading that aloud.
I'd like to know, but it's just bizarre. Anyway, right. So there you go. That was
I had a little bit of a fucking incident yesterday, didn't I? Being
I
cute.
had an incident in Tesco.
Being cute was.
Being cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a story of human ignorance, I guess. So I'm pulling up to.
Sign of the times, isn't it? As Prince would say, it's a sign of the times.
Yeah, so I'm pulling up to B&Q and I'm reversing into a blue badge disabled space because I have a blue badge. I'm a disabled man. I have a walking stick. I use a mobility scooter on long distances, but I'm pulling up into B&Q. My car is still moving at this point, right? I've not pulled up. I'm reversing into the space. There's a woman there in the disabled bay next to me, and she starts screaming obscenities at me, John. Obscenities. Saying, you can't fucking park there. You're not supposed to fucking park there. That space is for fucking disabled people. And so I pull up into the space. I look at her. She's still screaming at this point. I said, what are you talking about? Right? And she just kept going, you're not allowed to park there. And I pulled out my blue badge like that. Put it on my dashboard. Got up my windows. Got my walking stick up. Got out of the car, and she just went.
That's like, did I tell you that? Have I told you the story about when we pulled the guy over on the motorway one night?
You've got a lot of stories.
Oh, okay, so we're driving down the motorway one night. It is pouring with rain, really heavy rain. Get front swerving a bit. He's not driving very steady. Guy I'm with goes, pull him over. And I'm going, no, it's too wet. He goes, no, pull him over, he's drunk. And I goes, no, it's too wet. And he's going, no, pull him over. And I goes, I'm not getting out of the car. And he's going, well, we won't need to get out of the car. I'll get him back to the car without us getting out. I goes, I'm not getting out of the car. So we pulled him over.
Yep.
So he pulls him over to the hard shoulder. I'm sitting behind him, and the neighbour picks up the mic and goes, driver! It's through the PA system. He goes, driver, come back to the car. Exit the vehicle and come back to the police car. And the guy goes, he turns around and waves at us like that. Nope, can't do it. And he's going, driver, come back to the police car. Exit the vehicle, come back to the police car. He's like that. He goes, you're going to have to go out and speak to him. He's going, I'm fucking not going out in that. It's raining. And I goes, I told you. So he goes, driver, this is your last chance. Come back to the police car immediately. The guy's like that. Nope, not coming. So he gets out of the car, puts his hat on, his jacket, gets out of the car and walks up to the front of the guy. And I've got the window down so I could try and hear it. And he goes, driver, what's wrong with you? Have you lost the power of your legs? The guy goes, I don't have any legs, constable.
Did you swiftly leave the scene, John?
Yeah, I was gutting myself. Yeah, you can imagine. You can imagine how that went down at break time in the canteen.
I can indeed. Right, how many list items do we have left tonight, John?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, we're an hour into the show, so we better start firing them quick.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll get there, mate. We'll get there. It's a half past finish. Yeah.
Okay.
Police criticised over the gay swastika post arrest.
They should be ashamed of themselves. Over
The whole thing was ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. And I mean, the man who originally made the tweet, Lawrence Fox, was standing in the driveway, live streaming them, and he's going, he made it. He originally put it out. Why are you arresting me? So for those who don't know, Lawrence Fox turned
caused anxiety to someone was caused anxiety by your tweet.
I don't care.
Fucking out of order.
Out of order indeed. This is a political police force at this point, right? And this could go back to my situation. You know, what they did to me was political. This could go back. We are looking at a politicized police force who do not serve the people. This is not serving the people.
It's not.
I'm sorry, you can't have free speech and free expression, but either we have free speech and free expression or we don't. It is one or the other. And
Absolutely.
It's very clear that we don't. Yep. There was four police officers in an he's a veteran's driveway. The man, elderly man, army veteran. He simply posted Lawrence Fox's tweet. I believe he posted it up on Facebook. And because somebody got upset by it, he was in cuffs and arrested. Yeah. What is this world coming to? What is this world coming to?
I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. And it's like the chat saying there's so many other things going on. I mean, look at all the grooming gangs and things like that. They get ignored.
Of course they get ignored. That's actually work for the police to do. They would need to do some work.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, but this isn't policing as we understand it. This is political jackboot enforcement. And
it's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's not just about punishing the guy who made an uncouth tweet. It's about sending you a message.
Yeah, of course it is. Don't upset people on Twitter.
You better shut up. You better regulate your thoughts. You better regulate your speech. I mean, I remember once somebody was phoned by the police, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure who it was, but somebody was phoned by the police, and I saw this on an interview. And the police said to them, "We just need to check your thinking."
I'd be like, fucking, you know what, mate? You check your own thinking. Bye-bye. Boom.
This is where we're coming to, where we're literally our thoughts are being policed, right? Yeah. The thought police.
That movie with Tom Cruise, the one that was a thought police thing, pre-crime.
The Minority Report.
Minority Report, that's it. Yeah, that's what they're trying to become, you know, pre-crime. Yeah, we'll before it starts. Yeah. But what about the real crime, like fucking stabbings, muggings,
shootings?
Yeah. What about all that? What about that crime? What about the crime against the person? Because you know what, the police force. When I joined the police, I thought I was going to be helping people. Okay, and I naively naively thought that, right? And then when I got to my shift and ended up walking the beat and all that, I realized being a cop is all about protecting property and nothing to do with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's all about. It depends what department you're in, but it's all about property or collecting revenue for the state.
Yeah, it's a politicized organization that looks out for the interests of large corporations.
Yeah,
and
like it's all about property or collecting money. That's all the police is.
I mean, like Adam just said, and this is quite evident, and obviously I streamed loads of this. He says London protests teach you that too, because you get down to a certain area and they're already surrounding buildings they want to protect.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
They're there before you are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're not there to aid you in your protest or try and assist you in any way. They're there to protect the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the BBC.
And, so that was probably about 2 or 3 years, and then things started to click, and eventually they came to a head, and eventually, well, I was lucky because
you got out at the right time.
I got injured and got put out.
But you got out at the right time because look at them now. Look at the sorry excuse.
Oh, it's just a joke now. It really is. It's
a joke is an understatement. They are a sorry excuse for an idea of a police force, let alone an actual police force. What we have here is just, I mean, I'm ashamed of them. And I'm sorry, but I don't feel like they're there to protect me. I don't feel like they're my public servants.
They've never been there to protect people. Never.
I mean, look at what happened to me. I was sitting peacefully in my car. Yeah, I was being a little bit mouthy, but that was it. And they knew I was disabled, yet they turned off my engine, dragged me from my car, and viciously beat me.
Yep. Okay. Let's move on. Mark Dolan.
Oh, I quite like Mark.
I don't know what you think of Mark Dolan.
I quite like him.
I think he's a bit of a twat.
I think he's a bit of a wet wipe.
Yeah, so he has a go at Biden or whatever for being, senile and not being able to make and all that. And then and the next tweet or the next statement basically goes, well, animals in the workplace, should we be allowed to bring them? And I'm like, what the fuck? Have you run out of questions? How can that be relevant to anything? For fuck's sake, the world is falling apart and you're interested in whether we should take animals to the fucking workplace or not. This guy...
I'll give you an answer to that question. The answer is absolutely not. No, because you don't know whether or not your fellow man or woman has an allergy to said animal.
But the thing is, why would you even bring that up? That's fucking retarded thinking.
I think it sounds to me more like something that GB News told him to say more than anything.
Well, okay, it might, but he said it. That's the problem. He said it.
He did.
So if you told me to say something and I didn't like it, do you think I'd say it?
No.
If I told you to say something that you didn't like, do you think you'd say it?
I'd say, get fucked.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy has.
Yeah, but there is a difference between
mosquitoes nads.
There's a difference between me, you, and Mark Dolan, though. He's beholden to GB News for his paycheck, right?
Yeah, okay, and it's a good thing that we are not.
Well, yeah, we're beholden to absolutely nobody, and we don't get any money.
Well, yeah, exactly. So if you want to give us fucking money, get some in there.
He was on big screen for that, and that was fucking terrifying.
I'm a lovable chap. Am I not? I'm a baby seal ready for the clubbing. You can't do that. Right, so moving on from Meghan Markle. Lovely girl. Lovely.
Harry's captor.
Yeah, identifies as an only child,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
but she's not.
She's not, no.
She's got a fucking half sister. I'm sorry, I lost the ability to speak there. She's got a half sister, but she identifies as an only child.
John.
Ben.
I identify as 77 years of age, and I know that. The reason I identify as that is because it's 2 years over 75, and I want my fucking pension.
I think you look at it as well, mate. not physically, just in the way you behave.
Yeah, get off my lawn, all of that. Right? And you can do. Okay, it's 2022, man. It's 2022. You can identify as whatever you like, and if you say it, it's true. And if anybody speaks out against it, John, they get the cuffs. She's
a Fruit Loop, isn't she? She really is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even her own dad hates her.
Oh, it's like, why didn't he? Who was the girl in Vegas that he was shagging? She was nice, was she not?
Is that when he dressed up as a Nazi?
I don't start going there.
He did though, didn't he?
It's a whole like I'm just copying my granddad on my mother's side twice removed, you know. Because remember, they are the Saxe-Coburg Gothas of Germany. Oh, shh. Yeah, we'll just change our name. We'll pretend our name's Windsor.
Would you? Yes, the name is now Windsor. The name is now Windsor, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, the name is now Windsor, and we will start talking like this. We'll start talking like this.
The Kaiser is not the cousin. Not the cousin.
And we definitely did not have any conversations with the Adolf. Let's move on.
Nine.
Nine.
Right, moving on. Sanctions on Russia.
How much richer are they making Russia this week?
Even the fucking Guardian has twigged to this, right? So the Guardian of all has twigged that these sanctions aren't really working because the ruble's going sky high.
Mm-hmm.
Russia's doing better than ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're cutting off the gas but making more money. Mm-hmm. Russia's on the up, and what? Run the advert.
Oh yes, I'm going to run the advert.
Run the ad.
You could have given me a little bit of warning, but here's the ad.
This is Russia. Delicious cuisine. Beautiful women. Cheap gas. Rich history. World-famous literature. Unique architecture. Fertile soil. Cheap electricity and water. Ballet. Cheap taxi and delivery. Traditional values. Christianity. No cancel culture. Hospitality. Vodka. Economy that can withstand thousands of sanctions. Time to move to Russia. Don't delay. Winter is coming.
Adam says, let's all go. Sauron says, I want to go there. It looks fantastic.
It does. You know what? Right, somebody posted that and goes, this is an advert for trying to encourage people to move to Russia, and it's not satire, right? So I'm not quite sure if it is or isn't satire.
It kind of looks like satire to me.
Satire. But you know what? It doesn't make me not want to go there.
Chrissy says she was sold vodka.
Yeah, vodka.
Fertile soil.
Maybe we should just move to Russia. It might be easier. Maybe I should write to the embassy after all.
Jesus Christ. The only problem with moving to Russia is it gets really, really cold. And once you're in, because of all... Listen. Because...
Scotland.
Yeah. But once you're in, because of all the sanctions and everything, imagine trying to then go to America.
Why would you want to go to America? Because
even if you wanted to go on holiday.
Yeah, but hold on. At that point, America will be under Chinese rule. So
That's true. That's true.
That's true.
What's on them container ships, John?
That's a question.
What's on them container ships?
Could be Chinese army. Could be ready for the ground assault. Could be. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens with Pelosi, because if that comes down, then
I'll tell you what. If she does it, if she goes to Taiwan, right, and she gets out alive, right, but if she does, I think the first thing that needs to happen when she gets back to America is she needs to be impeached immediately.
If she goes to Taiwan and China doesn't do anything, right,
then you've got to worry even more, I'd say.
No, but if she goes to Taiwan and China doesn't do anything, then China have lost face.
Yes.
And if you know anything about Asian culture, it's all about face, right?
Listen. This is the country that has banned any mention of Winnie the Pooh.
So if she goes to Taiwan and China doesn't do anything, one, I'd be very surprised, and two, how are they going to regain face?
Well, exactly. And like I said, this is the country that are so concerned, well, the leader itself is so concerned with saving face that because someone once called him Winnie the Pooh on the internet, he made it something that's banned in China, and you can actually end up in criminal prosecution for...
No, not Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh no exist.
No 100 Echo wood here.
No. Don't laugh. Why you are laughing? Shut up. Shut up.
It's still going.
I know. Right, let's move on because we want to get this done. Yeah?
Yes.
NASA and the US Space Command shot themselves in the foot again because the actual rocket, they said the 31st it would come down. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And it came down on the 30th our time, which is what we should be going on because that's what they said.
Yes.
It came down in the Indian Ocean, so it actually didn't hit anyone. But it was spectacular. Did see it. So it looked good.
Cool.
Here's a title for you. See if you can expand on it. Fat ginger guy tries to remain relevant.
There's so many.
No. Great. Come on, chat room. Come on, you'll get this. Fat ginger guy tries to remain relevant.
Yeah, but what? Fat ginger guy ever? Ed Sheeran?
Oh, I'm just waiting. Nope, not Belfield.
Chris Evans?
Nope, not Chris Evans. What about BNT? Come on, BNT.
Anybody actually watching over there?
Yeah, Dayman 30's on, Obi-Wan Nobby. There was somebody else earlier on as well, I think. Yeah. So, who nobbled the German striker in the warm-up?
I'm going to expand the screenage in here come tomorrow, so I'll be able to talk to all of you.
Okay, so fat ginger guy. Okay. Let's say Holly Willoughby. Is that ringing any bells?
Oh, fucking Lee Francis.
No. Frankie Boyle, you fucking dyke.
Yeah, Lee Francis, Keith Lemon.
No, Frankie Boyle.
Oh, him.
Yeah, he made a joke about raping and killing Holly Willoughby.
Did he?
Yeah.
Hold on, the same Frankie Boyle who's been so far down the woke rabbit hole for the last 5 years or so.
Okay, because she's white and she's a woman, so he can make a joke about her.
What? Yeah, but you say that. You can go and get his DVDs, right? He made jokes about keeping Harvey Price in a cage and...
Yeah. Oh, I did. I know. So I'm trying to remain relevant, I reckon, because he's made a joke about raping and killing Holly Willoughby.
Why?
I don't know why. Well, yeah, I do know why, because he wants to try and remain relevant. he's just going for the shock value, and she's a safe target because one, she's not an ethnic minority, you know, and two, she's Holly Willoughby.
Look, so I'm all for people making jokes about whatever they like, right? I'm fine with that. You can make a joke about that. That's absolutely fine, right? It's not a joke to my taste, but if he wants to make a joke about that, that's absolutely fine. But what I want to know is the thought process. What I want to know is where you go from. I know I'm gonna wake up and make a joke today.
I don't think Frankie Boyle sounds quite like that, but carry on.
Hey, let's sleep and kill Holly Willoughby. It just doesn't.
Sounds more like fat bastard from
That was the point. That was the point. Because that's what he looks like now, fat ginger guy.
Yeah.
You know, Frankie Boyle used to be great. He used to be a really good comedian. He used to be funny.
He used to be good though. But he kind of got woke, but
I'll tell you why he got woke. He got woke because he wanted to keep his jobs with the BBC.
oh, after telling them that Rebecca Adlington looked like she was looking at herself in the back of a spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good joke though. She's not brought.
But the point is, Frankie Boyle wanted to keep his jobs with the BBC, right? He gets all them politics comedy shows he gets that are on the iPlayer after an election and stuff like that. He does all of that. He wants to keep them jobs, so he keeps himself down the woke rabbit hole. And like you said, because she's white, because she's a successful white woman, she doesn't fit the demographic. She fits the demographic of someone that is safe.
Fair game. Fair game.
Fair game. Let's move on. What an idiot.
I know. Graham Phillips.
Don't know who Graham Phillips is. Should I know who Graham Phillips is?
Graham Phillips, vlogger, or whatever. In
right.
Spain. Interviewed, remember the prisoner? Remember the guy that was a prisoner, the British prisoner, and interviewed him? The guy that was sentenced to death? He interviewed him.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, he's a British citizen. He was a vlogger, and he's a YouTube blogger, basically.
Yeah.
So he's in Ukraine, he interviews that guy, he does a couple of other things. He doesn't come across as a terribly nice guy. He asks some fucking stupid questions when he's interviewing the guy and all that. They say that maybe he's breached the Charter of Human Rights by interviewing him, but the guy said that the guy said he wanted the interview, he hasn't complained about it, and he's done other interviews since, so I can only assume that, you know, that's fair game. So the guy might not be a nice guy, but the British government have put him on a sanction list.
Right.
Now, this guy's a British citizen, right?
Right.
They put him on a sanction list. So do you know what that means?
Doesn't that... Well, you tell me.
Well, basically it means that he has now got no access to any funding in the UK.
See, the German government have done the same to a female German reporter.
Right. Yeah, so basically, this guy can now no longer fund anything in the UK because he has no access to his money.
And
so
on what grounds have they done this?
Because they have no grounds for doing this because they said he made allegations against Ukraine and he put them in a bad light. So fucking what? So what?
Ukraine aren't the good guys, right? Russia aren't the good guys.
It doesn't matter. We are not at war, right?
No, we're not.
War with anyone. So why the fuck are they putting a British citizen on the sanction list?
Get in contact with him. I want him on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is outrageous. This is completely outrageous.
Get in contact with him, John. We'll see if we can get him on the show.
Yeah,
that is insane. And like Dark Spy says, it coming to a bank account near you. What, they're going to do it to us? Because...
Oh, yeah, because this guy now cannot get access to any of his money. He can't pay his tax, can't pay his mortgage, can't pay anything, right? So he's a non-state sanctioned person. And this is state-sanctioned terrorism on their own people.
I would say so. I would agree.
Normally, this is done against terrorists that you can't reach. But this guy's a British citizen. Why is he doing this? Because he's not actually done anything wrong.
I'll tell you why they're doing it. They're because he's
because he didn't follow the narrative.
He has the ability to undermine the narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and that's that's what I did. Right, that's what I did for 2 years.
That's what I did do right now.
Yeah, but I did it way worse, didn't I, John? Because I had my cameras and I was going to these government sites. Right?
Yeah,
I won't say anything beyond that, but I was live streaming these government sites. I was wholly undermining the narrative, so I had to be unpersoned. Right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what they've done to this guy.
Yeah,
except it's a complete overuse. And in fact, governments shouldn't be allowed to do this to their own citizens. They should not.
No, you're right. They shouldn't. They shouldn't.
You have other means of dealing with your citizens, right?
Yeah, but they shouldn't be dealing with their citizens. They're our servants, John.
Well, and I was about to say, and let's face it, we have ways of dealing with you, our government. And if you want to push us to the extent that we're going to have to take those steps, then you have to bear in mind there are always consequences.
But there are breaking points. Everybody has a breaking point. You know, you push an animal too far into the corner and it lashes out, right? And I'm not suggesting that anybody does anything, but that leads me on to something, and I don't know if it's on the list, and I know we're
not about doing anything, but just saying there are always consequences to actions.
We've only technically got 4 minutes left of the show, but there is something.
We've only got 3 things left.
Okay, but there's quickly something I want to move on to, and it's this new Don't Pay UK. I don't know if it's on the list.
Don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I like telling people what to do.
Don't like it. I don't like it.
The guy that did the thing about in the petrol station where he went and filled his car up and then gave the guy 14 quid or something like that, right?
Right.
I said, that's all I'm giving you because that's the part without the tax and I'm not paying the tax or something like that. And the whole thing got a bit heated and it didn't really need to because the guy was kind of pushing it for the camera, I think. But you know what? That's now a civil case. Because he's going to call the police. But I mean, if I'd turned up as a cop, I'd go, well, it's a civil case because he's offered payment. You've taken part payment, right? So he's offered payment for service or for product, and you've taken the payment. It's a civil case. How much you pay, civil case. It's the same in a restaurant.
I'm just worried with this Don't Pay UK thing. I'm just worried that a lot of people that are signing up to it.
Yeah, that's putting people into the situation where they're going to get their electricity and gas supplies cut off.
Or they're going to end up criminalised because they're going to do something that they don't know they're doing wrong.
Yeah, so and it's the same with people that it's like there's this whole thing about being sovereign and all that, and I don't know if it works. If anyone's ever made it work, then fine, contact me and let me know, right? But I just don't think it works. Anyone that made it actually work.
I'm going to the Twitch chat for a minute because Chrissy's finally succumbed to the thing that we will not talk about. She has a positive LFT, only did it because of work, and this is her first time. She's not with treatment, and she has a sore throat and a bit tired.
Okay, yeah.
She's now saying it's hand on heart. She can say it was the biggest fucking overreaction ever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So. Congratulations.
No. I'm going to move on. Keith. Is Keith not lefty enough?
No, he's being they're going to try and unseat Keith, aren't they? The far left.
Unseat him. So who are they going to put in? They're not going to put the ginger growler in, are they?
I don't think they'll put the ginger growler in. Maybe I don't know. Is Rebecca Wrongdaly still part of the party?
You know what? You're talking to the wrong guy when you start talking about Labour. I have no idea who's in that party. I know Keith and I know the ginger growler, and that's about it.
I mean, Jeremy Corbyn is not in the Labour Party anymore. He's an independent.
So I don't know what the hell they're going to do. But yeah.
Perhaps they'll go begging to Jeremy?
It's not the time to be starting now. Well, it doesn't matter because I've still got 2 years.
No, but the thing is, neither party is government material. It's not.
Okay, I know Diane Abbott, and I know that is not leadership material.
So let's move on because we are pushing for time here.
Oil firms So Shell and BP both reporting bumper
Not just
profits.
not just oil firms, John. Not just oil firms, but British Gas,
Yeah, I know.
energy companies in general.
Because they're gouging you, people. They are gouging you.
There's no reason for energy prices to be as high as they are.
Price cap in France is 4%. And here's the icing on the cake. France has now nationalised its energy firms, which means the French government now own most of the private electricity firms in the UK because they were owned by EDF.
Yeah.
So the French have just nationalised EDF, which means they now own most of the British electricity firms.
And the hilarious thing is, they are charging a much lower price to the French and absolutely gouging the British.
And your money is going straight to France.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And what else is left?
Last item. How to make good use of a dead ex-wife.
Okay.
Il Trumpo, Donald Trump, has buried Ivana on a plot of ground in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
That he owns and therefore classifies as a cemetery and is not subject to any tax whatsoever. So he buries her in the corner and he builds a fucking casino on the other side. And there's no tax on anything on that land because it's a cemetery. The guy
Donald.
He's switched on.
Here's to you, Donald. Here's to you.
I've no drink left. I'll have to go and refill for the after dark party, which is coming soon.
Yeah, I got to get the link up on Patreon and everything and send it to Spencer, but...
Right, so there'll be we'll still be here, but there'll be a 5-minute hiatus.
So what you want to do is before you go and get your drink, right, let's end the show.
Yeah, let's end the show. I'll end the show. I'll go and get my drink, and you guys will then ask to join. And while you're in the waiting room, check your audio and video.
So if you are a patron, then please head to our Patreon page in about 2 to 3 minutes time, where you will find a patron only post. That post will be a link to the after show party. If you are not a Patreon supporter and would like to come and join us after the show and have a laugh and shoot the shit, then please head to patreon.com/chasing dissent. That is patreon.com/chasing dissent. That is the only way in. And if one of you patrons tries sharing the link out, that's why we've got the waiting room, right?
You'll get banned. Yep.
And also that's why we've got the waiting room, because we can only let in people we know are patrons.
And as a bonus, I'll be drinking a Bloody Mary.
Oh, God, you're going to make one of those.
I'm not going to make it on screen, but I'm going to drink one. Yeah.
Right, John, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people. So thank you, one and all, for attending this episode 108 of Chasing Dissent Live.
108.
From me, John, and from Ben, we exist only to serve you.
I'll serve myself, John.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Stop playing with my bust!
Good night, everybody.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy.
You're a what?
A pianist!
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
You have been a delightful audience. So, good night. Thank you.
Oh, my bottom hurts. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Tim Bob.
Oh, I did love that hamster so. I took it into bed with me every night, you know.
Good night, everybody.
I think Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to go now. I've been standing here for a very long time. I think the end of the show must have come and gone.
There you go. That's our solar system. You forgot Uranus. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. You've been very nice to work.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.